This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cockerel. You can text the show on 81215. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, everyone.
I like the fact you started the show with Okie Kokie today.
Well, I think that's all right.
No, I said I liked it. It's better than all right.
It's a tribute to Fidel Castro.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know quite how.
Respect. Oh, Frank, you left the show on something of a cliffhanger last week.
Did I?
I've just remembered.
What was that?
You were trying to remember the name of someone.
Ah, yes. Now, some of you...
Just had a couple of people tweeting about it.
Well, no, I'm not the youngest man on Absolute Radio. And I have the odd memory thing now. And what I do is I meet it head on.
Can I just say who is the youngest man on Absolute Radio? Could be the first text in that we run today.
Well, there's that one who's an absolute child. I'm going there. Absolute child, he is.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I bet Sarah knows the youngest presenter. Let's bring in the ladies.
Yeah, why not? Open it up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to throw my hat in
They're doing a great job. Can we say that here at Absolute Radio? Well done, girls.
Can we say
Round of applause for the women.
We've got some smashing birds working for us here.
Oh, man. And, they're playing rock music and all sorts. They don't care. They're not just playing I Will Survive over and over.
No.
There's some terrific ladies here on board.
So, who is the youngest, Sarah?
I think it's probably George.
George, okay.
He's the absolute child.
Yeah,
that's what they call him.
We think it's George.
Put that to bed. Sorry, I distracted
George
you.
Jeffrey.
You're discussing your age, I believe.
Anyway.
Frank's doing his rainbow material.
So anyway,
your memory lapsed last week. You're trying to remember the name of...
I was trying to remember the name of... It's not exactly the main character, but he's a significant character in Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. Or if you don't read, he was the main character in Apocalypse Now, which was the film of that book, more or less.
And he was a very significant character in that due to the person playing.
Yeah, he was played by Marlon Brando. So, anyway, I woke up at... I started trying to remember this.
Can I tell you what time it was?
Go on.
Because you texted me. I
texted Emily in exultation when it came to me in the early hours of Sunday morning.
I have never been so shocked. 02:10 a.m.
What?
Okay, well, that's when I remembered that his name is Kurtz.
Oh.
First I got Kurt, and I thought, that's it, I've got it, and I texted Kurt, and then I thought, no, it's Kurt.
I got a text just saying Kurt. I thought Courtney Love had one of her turns. And then I got a follow-up text saying, or Kurtz. And then he remembered to put a kiss on the end. Because he'd woken me up at 2:10 a.m. Do you know, it filled me with enormous happiness.
I love a kiss on the end in the early hours of the morning.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was very thrilled. Did he wake you up? I assume that you sleep with your phone. I'm sorry about that.
I quite liked it. And I was going to reply, and then I thought, no, I'll let him sweat.
Mm.
It's not how you want to be woken up, is it? If you take reasons to be waken up, and say on one side of the spectrum, fire alarm, on the other end is someone remembering the name of a character from Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness.
Yeah.
If I'm going to get an alert, I'd like it to be from you.
Thank you so much. But I never thought for a second you slept with your phone on, or I would have... I suppose I probably texted just in case when I woke up I'd forgotten it again. But no, it's one of those, I think... Now, I spent a long time once on Fatal Attraction. I mean, weeks.
What do you mean?
Trying to remember the words.
Trying to remember the name.
I thought you were in it.
Trying to remember the name
cameo.
of the... Yeah, my new one is the Anthony Hopkins film where he plays a ventriloquist.
Don't
tell me.
What's the name of the film,
What's the name of the film?
That.
I'm pretty sure it's one word. I'm thinking it's something like
is.
silence or something like that.
No.
So some
what
people...
if you get it by the end of the show? That'd
we're going to get loads of
exciting.
texting. Can we ask not to have that?
No, I don't. I have to remember, you see.
We already know it.
Don't text us.
We don't.
So, while some people are playing Minecraft, these gaming companies won't get a penny out of me. because I play Remembering. And I've got all the software and everything. It's all there. It's all already there.
Do you know I teach a lot of the young folks the Frank Skinner rule? If you know it... Sarah's nodding. She's a young folk. She obviously does it too, and they really respond. We should say the Frank Skinner rule is that
if you know it, you can't Google. If you don't know it, you can Google.
Yes.
If you don't remember, you can't Google.
Yeah.
Because if it's in there, you must search. That's my theory.
Yeah.
Although I know some people now. The other day I was talking about some football. The guy he's Googled them. I thought, just think.
Yeah.
Think, man. I said, think. Go on the thinking step. That's what they have at Buzzy's school.
Do they?
They won't have a naughty step because it's a bit, in the modern world, it's a bit negative, so he has to go on the thinking step where he just thinks about his behaviour for a bit.
Oh, that sounds good.
I love it. Should we get one in the studio?
I think I'm on it.
That's what you think.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I did a little scroll through the emails that came in on Friday, as is my wont.
Oh, yes.
And,
it's almost like you've had a Friday night.
I've had a Friday night troll, yeah. And
we ought to get a jingle for that, haven't we?
Yeah,
Friday night troll. Ooh, ooh.
why bother? We don't use the other ones that we've got a lot of the time, do we?
Oh, sorry.
No, I just feel like... I feel like it's waste of...
Things got ugly quickly.
What about this for the Friday night troll jingle?
Well, let's hear.
I bet they had many a Friday night troll in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Wake up Saturday morning, where's your relatives?
When I say we don't use the others, that's probably the one that gets the most airplay.
Oh, he just said on commercial breakfast radio, and this is why I love him. Yeah. Wake up Saturday morning, where's your relatives?
No, I don't. I'm not making light of that. I'm just saying that at different times. I often woke up on Saturday morning and thought, where's my relatives? That's because when our Keith was on his
Central
mad
Reservation
drinking days.
is the answer to that.
Yeah, where's my house? That's what I thought. Where's me dry trousers? Sorry, everyone. Move on.
We've had a happy anniversary email.
Hold on, what happened? Oh, yes,
Happy anniversary for Monday, guys. 1 year since the now famous ballet link.
Oh, yes. I think probably the worst link we've ever done. Well, I say we. I take full responsibility.
What Frank decided to talk about a recent trip to the ballet.
I did, yeah, and it was
just you saying you enjoyed the ballet.
It was 4.5 minutes of turgid radio.
I can't remember it being that bad. I mean, on its anniversary, I think we ought to play it, but...
I don't think we should play it.
I don't think you've prepped for that.
Well, what happened was...
People think they've accidentally put capital on.
Mid-anecdote, Frank realised it wasn't going anywhere, the ballet anecdote, and with his customary self-recognition and self-awareness, he acknowledged it and said, this is terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was in a state of distress. Wouldn't be an exaggeration.
Started lashing out at his own link, didn't he?
I still think of the ballet link, but it's been a year.
I can't believe it's been a year. Not least because if it's been a year, surely it would be tomorrow that was the anniversary, wouldn't it? If it's
you'd think so.
Is it a leap year?
But we don't want to be picky, do we?
No.
But
we also love accuracy.
I'm all right. I wouldn't say I loved accuracy. I'm all right with it.
You like being corrected.
Can I tell you, by the way, I've got... my legs are itching. I don't know, you might have even actually heard some on it.
You've been itching all morning.
I know.
Yeah.
But in the leg... So just the lower leg area, it seems to be.
Well, it's all over, but I'm feeling it more down there.
Tell us why.
Well, I got VT'd, which is a VT, in case you don't know, I think it used to be called Imac in my youth.
Hair removal cream.
And you put it on your legs to get the hair off your legs.
I've never done this.
Never done it.
Well, you go to Ministry of Wax like most people.
I think you might find it a bit harder to get a grip on you in the old Hapkido session. If you did that, it'd be like trying to hold a big salmon.
Be like Charles Bronson in one of those prison riots.
Yeah, well, Charles Bronson used to butter himself up pre-riot.
Very, very shrewd move.
Brilliant idea.
Very shrewd
he's
move
clever.
from Bronson there.
He's not just
Do you think
it's not just the John Lennon glasses, Frank. You know.
Do you think the word went round? One guard says to another, "Look, I'm not, I'm no Nostradamus, but I just went past Bronson saying he's buttering himself up." Just saying. Don't come to me after and say, "Well, that was a surprise."
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
I've just seen a trailer for a programme about Vienna. I love Vienna. I'd love to watch that. It's hosted by Simon Sebag Montefiore, who I
very
met.
posh.
And he's arguably the worst human being I've ever met in my life. So now
You're on the radio, don't you?
So now I can't watch the show.
Well, tell us why.
Annoying. Oh, I can't. You meet posh people who, when I first started meeting posh people, I thought, actually, they're all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I met him and I thought, no, everything we ever said about them back in the council house was correct.
Well, anything specific?
Oh, I can't go into detail. Honestly, he is a... Oh.
What, just abrasive?
We've only got 2.5 more hours.
Anyway, I'm not here to do character assassinations, but if he
Well,
was,
it's a bit late for that.
if there was a programme on
Worst
the
person you've ever met.
telly in which he was on fire, I'd watch it. Other than that... Anyway, that's...
Goodness me.
I
It's all
don't,
by the by.
I don't like unkindness in anything, but what it's the first time I've ever discussed him without swearing. It's interesting. Anyway, we're all different. I think we've established that. So my legs are itching because I got vetoed. I had to play a lady for various
Mrs. Brown's
reasons.
Boys.
And so I got vetoed. And
every time you said vetoed, I've heard vetoed, and I've been really struggling.
well, my leg hair got vetoed.
Yes, it did.
And it's a weird experience. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with this, but
Not me.
You get it laid on and it's scraped off with a sort of a little, like a little shovel.
Oh, yeah, tell me what happens, why don't you?
Yeah. Well, there's men listening who might not know, or hairy women.
Okay. Oh, he's gone so PC.
Yeah. So, and I think it's growing back. I'll tell you something else I did.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I was wearing stiletto platforms, and I find they're quite a strain on the calves. The calves the next day. Do you get this?
You get the age,
Do you
don't
get these girls?
Yes,
A lot of nodding from the
I'm
females.
looking around, here. It's like the opening scene of Macbeth. I'm looking around, and they're all they're all wincing.
Bit harsh.
It's
You look nicer than that today, girls. But
no, you do get the sexy witches.
I
in,
like
Macbeth production.
Well, you do, and I'm living proof.
There you go.
What about do you get this, girls?
Yeah.
It's like some slightly Route 1 female
All I
comic.
did, I adopted a pose that was slightly, one straight leg and hand on hip, and I can feel it in the calves now.
Yeah.
yeah, have you got a foam roller or any kind of self-myofascial release apparatus?
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
No.
Didn't know what they were till you just mentioned them, you crazy old martial arts loony, you.
I think everyone should have a foam roller.
Yeah, I do.
Do
as well.
you?
Yeah. That's
I
what
think
I've got a
everyone-
lint roller.
I think everyone
I
should have a
bought
lint
one as a
roller.
Christmas present once.
Well, do you remember that
Good gift.
Ronco,
great gift.
the Ronco thing that got rid of lint? Remember Ronco?
I
loads
do.
of- the
That wasn't
Ronco.
Victor Kiam, no. That
Remember
was
the
Kiam
Ronco
Industries.
record vacuum?
I think
It's a
do you know,
little
this is all sounding really
tiny
familiar.
vacuum cleaner that you took the fluff off your vinyl with.
All right.
See if they brought them back now.
Yeah.
If Ronco's listening, you out there, Ronco? Oh, but I've had a very difficult morning. Okay, but bring back the Ronco. Oh, my head is a bit big. It really hurt me. Yes, but bring back the record vacuum. I think you could make a fortune. I think I have some in attic, but first I must have coffee. A little dialogue with Ronco, the old inventor from the 70s there.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
Boz was, my son, was 4.5 this week.
Right.
Now, I'm new to parenting. Does one, if I can go to our parenting correspondent, or think back, did you, does one give them something for a 4.5?
No. No.
No, you don't. Why did he try and play you?
No, he didn't know, obviously. He hadn't worked it out. I worked it out. I told him about it. And he said, "Oh, so I'm not 4 anymore." I said, "Too complicated."
Yeah.
That was the end of that conversation.
Yeah.
So the other day he said to me, "Can you count to 1 million?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I suddenly had a crisis of confidence. I thought, actually, can I? Never done it.
No.
Who knows? When you get into the 600,000-700,000, things might get a bit dark and difficult.
I think I'd hit the wall.
Yes, I think there probably is a wall around 700,000.
I think the
sooner
hunger would
than
do
that.
me in.
Yeah. How long would it take, do you think?
Well, that is a good... Well,
Well, it would be
12, 15.
we've been wondering about texting. How long do you think it would take?
Maybe. Why don't we try it one Saturday morning?
Yeah. On air or off air?
Anything. It's the only way to top the ballet link. But then again, it'd be one of those things that people would hate it, but they'd talk about it at work the next morning.
They might, yeah.
Well, not the next morning unless they were
Well, you
priests.
check back in, wouldn't
And
you, just to see what number we'd got
I'll
to?
bet the week after that we wouldn't be complaining that the adverts were too long, would we? I think
Out of the three of us,
wow, we're doing a lot of talking on the show this week.
if someone was going to break, who would it be?
I think it'd be me. I'm not good with numbers.
Oh, what about my hunger? I think it'd be me.
Yeah.
You could eat, though.
You'd have to go and grapple. You'd be doing it while you were grappling.
No.
If we did it as a 3-part harmony, it might be nice.
That could be good, yeah. So that somebody could get off and...
Or we could, we took it in turns instead of the numbers, so there's a bit of a challenge, bit of competition.
Yeah, back and forth.
Anyway,
Let's do it.
Relay.
so next week, well, I have a word. I have to have a
Absolute millions.
word with the boss about it. Exactly.
So he's 4.5.
He was 4.5 on. I think it was the 20th. Well, it was the 23rd. I know because it was also the 53rd anniversary of the first ever Doctor Who episode. So I was in the mood for partying.
Of course you were.
But
Very keen diary you've got, isn't it?
I'm kind of amazed that the people who make cards and presents haven't cashed in on the halves.
That is a good
It's
point.
unbelievable that they haven't brought out half cards.
That is a good point. 'Cause
Yeah.
they love
Double.
selling cards, those people.
Yeah, the
their
Clintons.
shtick.
It's one of the few successes, the Clintons.
At least they've still
associated
got
with.
that going.
Yeah,
Although I
exactly.
don't think they have now.
What Clinton's cards has gone?
I have a feeling it might have gone under. I may be wrong,
Oh.
so don't text in and tell me I'm a moron. I'm sorry.
I'll send them a condolences card.
Yeah.
Best of luck
Where are you going to buy it?
The
Oh,
card
exactly.
factory.
I tried to buy fireworks the other week. You can probably
Did you?
guess when.
Around the...
It was the 5th of November.
That
It's a
time.
Saturday. We'd done a show. And I said to the cab driver, I got in a mini cab. The cab driver said, "I think you know my brother."
Oh dear.
I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, he's James. He's
Simon Sebag Montefiore.
yeah, he's Simon Amstel."
Oh.
I said, "Oh." So it was. He was driving me, James, his brother, which already felt a bit strange. I wondered if it was
Hello,
some
James.
sort of TV prank show.
Yeah.
And then I said, I need to get some fireworks for my son. I know, as you know, I'm not big on the fireworks. It's basically a celebration of the torture and oppression of Roman Catholics. But
dear.
I thought I'll get him a few.
Deary me.
I'll get
Sorry,
him a
wrong response.
I'll get him a flower pot. Flower pot, couple of rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roman
you don't
candle.
go mad with the...
Listen to the names of them though. Roman Candle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catherine Wheel.
Yeah.
And after St. Catherine. I mean, come on, people. Anyway, he said, I think we'll have to go to a Pura area.
He didn't.
I said, what are you talking
Can I
about?
say I love this man?
And I said, what are they? People using them for warmth. And
What does
you
he
know
mean
what?
by that?
He was absolutely
He was
spot
right.
on.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
spot on. I went to Hampstead. I went to 4 shops and said, have you got fireworks?
First world problems.
They looked at me. What? I said, well, sparklers?
No.
No.
Ended up with a scented candle, didn't you?
I just got some matches.
Well, is it because in the affluent areas they go to organised displays?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Well, I don't know what it is,
'Cause
but
they're
you'd
more-
think in a poorer area, you'd go to a display because it's cheaper than buying your own.
Yes, but they're less. No offence to anyone in this
Not how
room.
economics works.
They're less paranoid about accidents and things happening. Perhaps they're less helicopter parents.
I can't.
I'm saying that's a good thing.
I can't sanction. Anyway, I went to a posh bit of
I'm
London.
saying that's a good thing. They're less neurotic.
So you people listening thinking those posh people, they got everything on their doorstep. You cannot get a firework. And I'm talking about November the 5th. That was an eye-opener for me, I must say.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
What about all these people
Counting to 1 million.
telling us how long it would take to count to 1 million?
Yeah.
How long would it take?
Well, 646 has said if you said a number a second, it would take 11.5 days to count to 1 million.
I'm not doing it.
143 takes about 2 weeks to count to 1 million, but it only takes about 25 seconds to count to 100. Numbers sure get big quickly.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Numbers do get big quickly, so towards the end you wouldn't be getting 100.
You think numbers get big quickly? What about when people get married?
Oh, they pull the ripcord.
Oh, they absolutely.
Yeah, they do.
My favourite one is from Harry. Counting to 1 million at the rate of 2 numbers per second would take you 5.87 days. Worked out what I'm doing with my annual leave.
Lovely.
I like him.
That would be... I can imagine it as a sort of an avant-garde stage show, somebody counting to 1 million.
Well, surely someone has done it at Edinburgh at some point.
Like the guy who read The Great Gatsby, the guy from Taxi, what was he called? Man on the Moon.
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman, that was his stage show.
Was it?
Yeah, I'd say that'd be
Homage
more
to
interesting
Lily.
than what about him?
He read, is it the Leveson Inquiry he read over a number of days, I think, in the summer, in a hut.
Respect to Mundo.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Ian Angel has texted one of his joke puns, new show, Who Wants to Count to 1 Million on Air? Who wants to count 1 million on air? Sorry, I put an extra 2 in there.
Absolutely top notch.
Is absolutely
Who wants
brilliant.
to count 1 million on air?
Always
I got it right
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
An
is
angle,
good.
but
Excellent.
sometimes he soars like a mighty punning eagle.
Gone into new areas as well, with programme formats, and I like that.
He's probably trying to buy fireworks. I'll tell you what would be a good texting. What other... If there's anyone from the cards industry, what have they missed? What else have they missed apart from the half years? Because you can get them, you can get death and, new job, new house, and all that sort of stuff. There must
be some new ones.
Yeah.
New car.
Becoming a goth. You know when people go from towny...
becoming a... Congratulations on becoming a goth.
Become a goth.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be lovely. Okay, so 8, 12, 15.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Coincidentally, this is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cockerel. You can text the show on 8, 12, 15. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website. That's that.
Emma Phillips.
Yeah.
Or is there...
I thought Steve Coogan said to me that when you were doing Vincent Price, think Gay Irishman,
Oh, yeah.
and it helps.
Oh, that's useful. Thanks for that.
Steve France sent me a Dalek and a George Formby programme, theatrical programme. Could you get a better bundle than that?
That's good.
No, I was just talking about that on my way past the window. And Mark Booth sent me his children's book, Sydney the Sailboat, which I have since read to Boz. And
did it go down well?
He loved it.
Well, I hope the sailboat didn't go down.
No, that'd be like boating at boat.
Depressing for a child to read about that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think he's... there's so much death in Disney films now.
Well, this is true.
He's
Every
getting
smile,
used to it.
Every smile there's a tear, is that what they say? Something like that.
Is that right?
That's what they reckon.
I doubt that's been properly researched.
No, I don't think so.
That's like every time you ring a bell, an angel gets its wings.
Is that what they reckon?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Footprints in the sand, all that sort of stuff. Oh, so have you done Thank You Corner?
I think that'll
Okay.
that'll do for the mini.
Okay.
I have more thank yous, but I don't need to sound like a radio show.
I'd like to discuss Barack Obama, who's...
Well, make the most of it, love.
Well, exactly. But
Yeah.
let's face it, he is. Because I noticed, I mean, he's still in the job. He's making the most of his last few months, though, because he did a little award ceremony this week.
He did, yes. The what they call Freedom Medals.
21 Freedom Medals.
Freedom.
It was a bit weird. It was a bit sort of closing scene in Star Wars.
That sounds like a Jay-Z song. 21 Freedom Medals. But my award is
keep it clean, yeah.
Do you think
Let's
at
be
any
careful,
point?
people.
Do you think he
but
looked
my
at the,
badge ain't one.
Do you think he looked at
Oh, we got there.
or different? Do you think he looked at the table full of medals and went, "I got 21 medals to go"? Maybe he did that. Maybe he did that.
He would have been capable of it because let's face it, he's that cool. But
Yeah, he's got that sort of. He's a bit.
very good at.
I'm so
sort of
obsessed,
jokey
Al.
speech. I think he's quite good at.
the after dinner speaking career he's got ahead of him.
Very good.
Oh, yeah, you met multi-millions.
Wouldn't it be odd if he went into light
I don't think you've ever
entertainment?
sounded more Birmingham, Frank. Oh yeah, he'll make multi-million. It was a bit Star Wars, the ceremony, though, because they are sort of meaningless, these medals. What are they?
Well,
Oh,
no
come on, they're
medals.
just little blue ribbon things with the plastic.
Oh, they're lovely-looking medals.
I know, but when he did it on Robert De Niro, it got all tucked into his collar, it went a bit wrong.
Oh, I didn't.
And
like
he
the
didn't want to
photos.
adjust it. Ellen DeGeneres didn't want to adjust
He
it.
He did the mouth, Robert De Niro,
can't
when he
help it.
put it on. He did that, you know, the downward
Yes.
turn mouth.
That one.
He also...
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's perfect. I know these sort of impressions on radio
No.
aren't
He also
what they
did
could be.
a weird thing when they started saying, you know, doing the citations, which I believe some military personnel person did, which was a mistake, can I just say, Barack? Because he's not good at the speeches. He kept getting his words wrong, the military personnel.
You should have got that
that's a
bloke
shame.
from X Factor. It's Andrew!
Bill and Melinda Gates!
But the way you just used to shout very straightforward Christian names.
Yeah.
Can you still say Christian names? Hold on.
Yeah.
So 4 names.
Ooh, no, you can't. First names, yeah.
First
Yeah,
names.
let's go with that.
It's Martin! As if that's... I mean, it's just not exciting enough, those names,
No.
on their own.
At one point, though, De Niro did that, again, a very Robert De Niro thing.
He
I
hit
don't think
someone
he-
with a baseball bat sitting at the table.
he didn't whack someone. But when the military man was doing his citation and talking about his nuanced portraits that he brings to the screen, De Niro started nodding, which was a bit inappropriate. Yes. Which I thought was quite Frank Skinner. I like that.
I like that. You must know.
No bashfulness from De Niro.
He was just gently nodding, as if to say, yeah, that's
I'll
right.
tell you what Elton John said. He got furious when him and David Furness, they used to call him Roberta.
Oh, did you not like that?
He would not take that. No, he was...
I love your Elton John anecdotes.
What a week,
I
Al.
was Elton John's friend for about 8 minutes, during
right.
which time I gathered enough anecdotes to last me a lifetime. And then suddenly he despised me.
Well, it's because
Right,
you
he
and David did something on fantasy
No, it
football.
wasn't David. It
Oh.
was this was post David.
Oh, was it?
was. I don't know what it was, but the next time I saw it, he physically turned his back on me.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of
But
back.
even so, that 8 minutes was lovely. He gave me some CDs, told me a lot of great stories. We played a game. We played that game when you put yellow stickies on your head and you have to
You
guess
never-
who
Played
you
that with
are.
Elton John.
You
Yeah.
played that with Elton John.
Yeah.
Who did you have then? Can you remember?
I was Ian Cranky and he was Bobby Crush.
Sometimes it's hard to know where real life ends and hilarious improvisation
What about
begins
when-
with you.
What about when Frank and
I swear
I?
to you, it's true.
What about when Frank and I played Pictionary with Michael Hutchins?
Oh, that's true, yeah. He's rubbish. Was he? I can't remember.
He was.
He had so much velvet on him.
There was a lot of purple velvet.
I had a complete lint attack. I was so worried that he was going to leave there covered in bits. I couldn't concentrate.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
So, Barack, it was sort of a bit medals for the mates, which is
Can I just say, sorry
Yes.
to interrupt,
You
but I was
may.
watching the news. Is Fidel Castro... He must have been gutted, hadn't he, that Guevara got all the T-shirts and the posters.
yeah.
Because he was like the
Yeah.
main, and then he was... It's like if people were wearing Robin T-shirts now instead of Batman.
Right.
It
Yeah.
must have been...
Well, they're
that
clever,
nag-
these people. Always wear one
nagged
piece
at
of
him.
clothing, you become famous.
He'd be the second most frustrated person on the planet. The first being everyone who full-time writers of children's books who've suddenly been invaded by all these celebrities who take. I mean, how gutted are those people?
Yeah.
If there's any career children's writers listed, I'm not coming. Don't worry. I'm not going to
Michael
do
Morpurgo, he's one.
Oh God! And that woman.
J.K. Rowling.
The woman with the white, she's done all right.
Yeah, she's done
the
all right.
one with the white hair and the glasses who's
I know,
very
Jacqueline.
famous. Jacqueline, yes.
Yeah.
If there's any children's writers, like the man who sent me the sailboat.
Oh yeah.
Can I apologise on behalf of the celebrity community?
Well, some of our friends do it.
I know. God bless them. But I'm just saying. I'm not saying that they're. To everybody, I'd say is more YA.
Yes.
Oh, young adult.
But can I apologise on behalf of the celebrity community for what we've trampled your careers, and I just say I'm not part of it, and I'm sorry. Okay, carry on.
So anyway, Barack, what he's done, Frank, he's letting his friends in because it's the last look at the White House. They're not going to get a look in for the next 8 years. Let's be honest.
No.
They're going to be
2 terms for the Donald.
100.
Wow.
I think if they're...
You heard it here first.
Yeah. They are going to be deemed, what I believe Scientologists referred to, as suppressive persons.
Oh.
Mm.
That's what they'll be called, these people.
Or as what Doctor Who fans call the not we.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
Okay.
So
we've got in the White House.
I can't see...
They're not going to get back in.
I can't see Diana Ross being invited round to Trump's White House.
Or Ellen DeGeneres.
No. Oh, no.
No.
I love
Or
Ellen.
Bruce Springsteen.
I do.
I have loved
She's
Ellen
quite your
DeGeneres.
type, Ellen DeGeneres.
I have to say, well, I don't have to say because we're on Breakfast Radio, but I've always thought she's a very hot potato.
I do.
Ellen.
If I was that way inclined...
She's what I call my flogging a dead horse crush.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Martina Navratilova was one of my flogging a dead horse crushes as well.
If I was feeling sapphic, that would be the way to go.
I always like Martina. I think it's all right to... I think it's like staring at someone on the opposite escalator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're never going to see him again, but... Anyway, she's lovely.
This is... Well, she cried during this, but she was very moved.
Great in that suit as well.
And she nearly didn't get in, she forgot her ID, so she tweeted a photograph of herself sat outside on a bench. Have you ever locked yourself out of your own home and felt stupid? Have you had that moment where the door clicks behind you? She must have felt really stupid not having ID when she went to the White House.
I did a thing the other week, and which is what she should have done. I must afterwards. After I did.
I know what you did, and I can't believe you're going to tell
about it on air. I can't remember.
No, but you've told me.
I was at a football thing. I won't go into details, but I was. It was a West Brom thing, and I was walking in, and you're supposed to have a wristband thing, and the guy said, "Have you got a wristband?" Or have you got a pass, is what he said. And I said, hold on a minute. And I searched my pockets. And then I went, oh, I've got it. And then I pointed at my face. I can't believe I did that. I cannot believe it.
You can.
Yeah,
I can.
Darling, we can all believe it.
Well, why didn't Ellen do that? She's more famous than me by a...
Yes, why didn't she do that?
By a country mile.
Why didn't she do that? Think about that tonight. Think on why she didn't do that.
When you're on the thinking step, that's what you can consider.
On the celebrity thinking step. Am I a good person?
Frank Skinner on the radio.
We were talking earlier as well about bespoke cards, and Jeff Owen has tweeted us an idea for a bespoke card.
In case you just tuned in, I was saying I'm amazed that the card companies have missed out on half birthdays as a potential thing, and there must be other things they've missed out on.
Well, Jeff, when we were talking about Barack Obama's strange Star Wars medal ceremony, Jeff has tweeted, sorry you didn't get the presidency card.
Yeah?
Niche, I'll give you that.
It is a bit, but I suppose people don't get the presidency of other things.
Yeah.
Well, the National Cartwheeling Society and stuff like that.
982 has texted cards. How about congratulations on leaving the European Union? I mean, give it time.
Who do you send it to, though?
What about
everyone in England, but in several years' time.
England.
Richard, sir, one for display on the sideboard. Wishing you every happiness in your new clandestine affair.
What about if for a plastic surgery one?
Yeah.
Congratulations on your new face.
225 has said, congratulations, you counted to 1 million. Fairly niche.
Yeah, it is niche.
Thurston has suggested, congratulations on hosting the Brits cards.
No, I don't think many people would enjoy those.
No.
And Kev Hawkins has come up with possibly the best moneymaker that the card industry has ever heard. If they're listening, I think this could be a game changer. What about the unbirthday? For every one birthday, you have 364 unbirthdays.
Yeah. As in the... is that from...
It's from the
Disney's
Mad
Alice
Hatter.
in Wonderland?
He said that's what the Mad Hatter said.
Yes.
Great show.
And there's a song, A Very Merry On Birthday to Us, to us.
Yeah, but
I mean,
he was on drugs, that one.
That could mean that they sold cards every day of the year, which is what they want, surely, these people.
Hatters, there was a smoke, wasn't it, come from the glue that they used. That's why he's a Mad Hatter.
Oh, is that right?
A lot of milliners went mad
because of the
strange
the
fumes.
adhesive.
Oh, thank. What about Ross Hitchin?
Hence the rhetorical question, who wants to be a milliner?
Oh, yeah.
What about Ross Hitchin? Very good. Congratulations on having your penalty points removed.
That is good.
I'd like that one.
That is good.
Yeah.
I love that.
What about,
and maybe they
well
could
done.
draw-
Congratulations on surviving that car accident.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, on the penalty points one, they could roll it out further and, well done, your conviction is now spent. You know, when people have to answer spent on a job application if they've been in the jail.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
In the jail? Are you spelling that GAOL?
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you heard that.
In the jail sounds like, what, the jail down at the end of the street there where old Marshall Harris sits?
The jail.
Been in the jail all night. They damn near pulled the wall down. Could you get the old
I mean, I love your use of jail.
Why not? Why
I'm
not throw it
imagining
in?
you having louvered doors
Hey,
at home.
it's a literary kind of show, so I thought I'd say it as I'd read it.
You ain't Gale.
Jail. Yeah.
I like
145 has
I
said,
like a Wild West jail.
145 has said, good morning, Frank, Emily and Alan. I think a card that the manufacturers have missed out on is good luck with your exams, Mum. I think he's doing a joke about, like, young mums.
Oh, yeah.
But because my mum was a further education student, I just read it as yeah, I could have done with that back in the day.
But I like that he hasn't gone into the stereotype that young mothers don't bother with their education.
Exactly.
Well, quite.
So respect to him
In a
for
way,
that.
well done.
Well, as John Kettle says, you don't see many Respectamundo greeting cards.
No, that is true.
I can't imagine why.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should have a card saying,
I'll
well
get the-
done,
I'll
you got
get
your
the John
text read
Kettle.
out.
Yeah. Congratulations on your new hat. Rubbish.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
I mean, Obama and this medals thing,
You got 21 medals to go. Yeah.
he's basically giving them to people he likes, his friends, a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't he? It's a bit like if Frank suddenly had that power.
Well, if I gave medals to my friends,
If it was 21 medals to go,
that would be a struggle.
well, I
You've
hope
got
I'd get
17
in there.
medals left. Is that what it would be?
Exactly. Easy. I could hold the ceremony in a G registration Hillman Imp.
Well, let's give you the benefit of the doubt and assume Alan and I got medals.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Also, it's people that Obama likes and wants to hang out with. So Peter Capaldi would get one.
Yeah.
Keith would get one, just out of
Yeah.
respect. Jesse Eisenberg
Yeah.
and Mrs. Brown's Boys cast and crew. That's your 21.
I wonder if Bieber might get in there. Cause
Yeah, Bieber.
He does think he's a lovely looking man,
Yeah.
I
doesn't
know,
he?
but he's turned a bit just lately, Bieber.
Oh, that's good news for you.
Yeah.
He punched someone in the face the other
I think he
day.
did, yeah.
The fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Obama's award.
The fan. That's what happened.
That is quite fine work.
Well,
good.
I think it's a flashback to when Eric Cantona did something similar, so
Yes.
I'm not taking full credit.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, yeah,
I watched the whole thing, Frank. An hour long.
I think if there's anyone out there who's holding a showbiz party and they're wondering how to get A-listers along,
Yeah.
medals,
Yeah.
they love it.
They love a medal.
I'd turn up for a medal to an event I wasn't really fancying, but I thought if I'm going to get a medal, I mean, I haven't got a medal for ages, but when you do get one, it's brilliant.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
I
nothing
did
like
fast forward, and I know this doesn't show me in a great light, but so much doesn't. I did fast forward through the technology and philanthropist. I'm sorry. I wanted to see Tom Hanks, and I wanted to see Diana Ross.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
No, I think that's fair enough. I got a medal when I became when I stopped being the president of the Samuel Johnson Society. I got a medal. I got a medal for my honorary degree, Birmingham Polytechnic.
It's all gone a bit. Congratulations, your penalty points have been erased.
Have we accidentally gone back to the weird greetings card conversation?
Yeah, I never got one for any of those. No. What about when I got a medal for giving out Duke of Edinburgh awards?
You didn't?
Yeah, I got an award for it. For giving them out.
That is good.
Brilliant. Better than bivouacking.
Yeah.
Who wants to bivouac when you can just
orienteer
do a funny speech and get, and just give some kids some medals? Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So did you enjoy the ceremony? Tom Hanks, I mean, how can you not like Thomas J. Hanks? I like the full name he got.
Oh, did he get that?
He went Thomas J. Hanks.
Nice.
And then it was Bruce F. Springsteen.
Who, I think, by the way...
Yeah. Is it their middle initial?
Well, there's not another Bruce Springsteen in the crowd, surely.
No, exactly.
I thought that would be terrible if there was. Just a clerical error guy had come along thinking he was getting a medal. Bruce Springsteen, like a painter.
No, not you, sir. Bruce F.
Detroit.
Springsteen. Bruce F.
I once went to the Barn Social Club in Aston.
Congratulations.
And there was a woman called Zoe Springsteen.
All right.
Oh.
And I always remember she said, clap your hands if you love Tamla Motown. And she put her hands above her head and clapped, which rose up the whole mini dress. She was in her 50s, rose up the whole mini
Goodness
dress.
me.
And, yes.
Not quite sure how to end this anecdote, are
She
you?
should have got a medal, if you ask me. Thank you, Bernard.
Well, I tell you, also would have clapped the Motown was Diana Ross.
Of course.
Who was there, and she had a little bit of trouble with her wig, I think.
Was it? It's not a wig, is it? Oh, come on, Emily.
No.
I find your naivety so touching.
Not D.
Very frizzy
Was she
hair.
announced as D. Ross? That's a bit unkind. What about when I saw Diana Ross live? Have I ever told you this? I saw Diana Ross live at the NEC, and there was a bit where she took a single red rose in her hand, and she walked, and it was have I told you this woman in a wheelchair at front of stage? She handed
At front of stage?
She handed the woman in the wheelchair the red rose. A beautiful moment, of her, showed how caring she was. And then when I was leaving the NEC, I saw a wheelchair being loaded onto the truck, the tour truck thing with all the speakers and stuff. Now, it could have been a coincidence, but...
Awful.
You heard it here first.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've had a text in correction. We always go with a correction. Sorry, Frank, unbirthday is from Lewis Carroll, not Disney. I think you said it was the Disney version of Alice in Wonderland, so maybe it's... I have read the book, but... And they continue, and it was Mercury in the Hats. First-time contributor, long-time reader. Well, welcome, 135.
But I still think of On Birthday as the song On Birthday. Yeah. Sorry.
I think you need to learn to say birthday before we...
You're talking about Alice in Wonderland. I'd like to talk about Ronaldo in Disneyland.
Oh, yeah?
If I may be so bold.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
We're done with the party.
Well, what else do you want to say about the party?
No, you're quite right. It's the end of the road.
I'm happy to talk more about the party.
Well,
the floor is yours, boys.
What will next year's party be like?
Oh, yeah, that could... Oh, no, is it when he's leaving office? Does it...
No, I think you do one every year, don't you?
Goodness me.
No,
so Donald Trump, it'll be his family will all get one.
Yeah.
A lot of baseball caps.
Farage.
A lot of red faces.
Will get one.
Unabomber.
Unabomber.
He could get one.
Yeah.
It'll be someone extreme. Can I just say, I had a thought this week, and this was a serious, honest
Were you on the celebrity thinking step?
Yes, I was thinking about the Freedom Medals, and it occurred to me, in January I get my Freedom Pass. You may know.
Which is what?
Which is for being...
pensioner.
For becoming 60. You get a pass, and...
Goodness me.
And you get...
You're looking good on it, may I say. I know
Thank
it's
you.
interrupting, but
Skin is great.
Well.
You get free bus, tube, underground travel, reduced on the river, on the boats.
What do you mean on the river? What is it?
Emirates Airways reduced flight prices.
Also reduced on the river, Wind in the Willows.
Doesn't seem fair,
when you get one of the boats.
Oh, one of those boats to the O2.
But I mean, free train, tube and bus things. I thought to myself, would I rather have that, or would I rather have had a Freedom Medal from Barack Obama? I decided I'd rather have the pass. I'd rather be able to get on a bus and not pay than have that. So that's what's happened to me.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Bruce F. Springsteen and Thomas J. Hanks got that too.
That would be
they won't get a freedom pass.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
And can I just say, before we move off this, is it no surprise to anyone that Bruce Springsteen hates Donald Trump? Because I think Bruce Springsteen, it's out there in the public domain that he thinks he's the boss.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump is hosting The Apprentice and saying, you're fired. And he's like, no, I'm the boss.
Yeah, but
ironically, he's held up as the, he represents the working man.
Yeah, there's conflict there, isn't there?
What about when I heard Kid Jensen on Radio 1 playing Born in the USA, and during the instrumental break, he faded the music down a bit and went, "The kid plays the boss."
That's broadcasting heights that will never scale, I think it's fair to say.
I love that. That's brilliant. Sorry, you were talking about Ronaldo.
Play the git plays the boss.
Yeah?
The bit of a git plays the boss.
I might try that if we play later. The git. They don't have to be known as Git Skinner, though. I have to absolutely upfront it. I mean, I like people
Frank
to find out
G.
gradually.
Skinner and his Freedom Medal.
when people work with me for the first time, I like it not to happen day one. I like it
the
to
longer
dawn
I work
on
with
them.
you, the less of a git I think you are.
Oh, will I be famous? Will I be rich?
I'm really glad he's taken the positive out of that. I thought he was going to get forensic about chapter 1 of that story, but no.
No, I love that. That's a beautiful thing to say.
It's true.
Oh, do you want a list of who else has won Freedom Medals, by the way?
Yeah, why
Okay,
not?
and then can we talk about Christine
Someone's been on Wikipedia, why not?
Ronaldo later?
Yeah, some greatest hits. Margaret Thatcher got one.
Did she?
Come on. Buzz Aldrin.
What year is it?
Buzz Aldrin got one.
Buzz
Bob
Aldrin.
Dylan. Bob Dylan's got all the awards. He's one of these guys.
Did he show up?
You know the whole footballers
Yes.
say, get your medals on the table when they have an argument?
Yes.
That's right.
He'll be arguing with Van Morrison about something. Say, get your medals on the table. Come on. Get your medals on the table, man. Let's see who's the best. Oh, man. I'd love to see that.
Frank, did Buzz Aldrin... I hope he didn't wear that NASA bomber jacket. I mean, it's had some use, but come on.
I bet there was so many badges on his jacket he could hardly find space for
Clunking
them.
around that White House.
Mother Teresa, though. T.S. Eliot. Stephen Hawking.
You got one?
They had the ramp. No problem. It was some really
Diana
brilliant...
Ross.
Some amazing people. Diana Ross, yeah. It was Diana Ross's front row. Got one.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cockerel. You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
Okay.
So there we are.
81215 written on the whiteboard up there in
Yes.
case I forget.
Mm-hmm.
When I came in, it said on the whiteboard, listen to the Frank Skinner show.
Did it?
Yeah. So that must be something they forced the other DJs to say.
No, actually, I wrote that up for me.
Oh, did you?
Just as a little aid memoir. I keep drifting off.
Oh, I love an aid de memoir. It's one of my
Now,
favourite
did you
things.
see the photographs of Christine Ronaldo this week?
I did. In disguise.
Yeah. Well, he was in Disneyland Paris.
Ronaldo in disguise with the hooded top.
He was papped.
Cristiano Ronaldo in disguise with a hooded top.
I mean, if we are going to give him disguise advice, in case he's listening,
Yeah.
if you go with the wig, you don't need the hat and hood.
He was with a
It
history
looked like
lady.
he was a balancing act. Like, how many things can...
He went a little OTT.
Small bedside table. Walking stick.
I don't know why you need
What is it in the circus?
Well, let's dissect forensically the look.
Yeah.
There was sunglasses, which, FYI, Daily Mail, we don't need to know they're tinted sunglasses. They're just sunglasses.
Have they got a word count to hit?
They called them tinted sunglasses.
What will they think of next?
He went for a very... They called it heavy hooded jacket. I'm going duffel coat.
Parker.
Would they say that Stephen Hawking arrived with non-tinted sunglasses?
Yes.
You'd never say that, would
Yeah.
you?
He also went for an extraordinary roll neck,
Oh, yeah.
which was a bit...
Oh, yeah, it's a big roll.
It was huge. It was... You don't see them in this decade, or the previous one,
No.
It's physics teacher in Wisconsin in the 80s,
I think it's a display of wealth. I think he's saying, look
Do
at how
you?
much wool I can afford.
And the most bizarre wig I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, a
and I've
curly
seen
wig.
some. I've worn
Yeah,
some.
I'll bet.
And the crowning glory is something where I think you'd think, well, no, that can't be him. A girlfriend. So,
Lock up your daughters, everyone.
brilliant
Yeah.
disguise.
Yeah.
Thought I would have fooled Ormond, but people did recognise him ultimately.
Yeah, amazingly.
Yeah, he didn't go for I noticed often what they use for the disguise is the beard.
No, that's
No.
true.
Interesting, that.
No touch of,
But,
not even a hint of
It's,
beard.
it's an
No
interesting
beards.
contrast that last week we were talking about England's big star footballer who was out with his shirt with his name on the back. This is an interesting study in the stages of fame,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
When you're absolutely on the top of your game, you have to go out in this heavy disguise. When, let's say, your star is starting to, when it's starting to wane,
Oh, yeah.
you have to have your name on you. I mean, I sympathise with this.
Well, I tell you what was unfortunate was that he decided to then go on a roller coaster with wig and... Or it was some sort of log
The
flume.
head balancing act.
Yes.
Strange.
He was
Yeah.
clutching onto that wig for dear life.
Poor decision making.
It was very embarrassing.
I mean, as a footballer, he's got good decision making, but as an individual
Ow.
in disguise, I think 3 things a top head, avoid roller coaster is one of the rules I live by.
Well, it was a water-based ride, and imagine that wig, that sad wig, sort of floating around afterwards in the ride.
Perhaps it wasn't a wig, and perhaps he's one of those people that when his hair gets wet, it goes really curly. And that's what he was embarrassed about.
What did he ask for when he got the wig? Can I have the kind of Kim Kardashian momager wig? 'Cause he looked it was quite matriarchal, the wig.
It was curly, though.
It was curly, it was Nicola Sturgeon.
I
and
think
she
he
had it
said
straightened.
Harpo Marx, please. Can I have the Harpo Marx? And then I'm going out.
I think you have to mime the Harpo Marx.
He
Yes,
took the
well,
wig off when he went to the nightclub, I noticed.
And
Yeah.
that was sensible.
Yeah, well, later on, I think he wanted to look like Cristiano Ronaldo. During the day, he was incognito, wasn't
Did the lady go to the nightclub with him, or just his friends?
Yeah,
I don't
I think
know.
he just went with his pals.
I've never actually tried the disguise.
No?
Well, I'm worried
Have you
about.
not?
I'm worried enough about not being recognised as it is, without making it damn near impossible.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
We've heard from the outside world.
Oh yes.
We've had a text in from a friend of the show, David Baddiel.
I don't think he'll like being described as an inhabitant of the outside world.
He's
very much the inner
he's in the inner
sanctum.
circle,
Oh, yes.
absolutely. But
Oh, yeah.
today,
Oh, yeah.
he's not in the studio.
No.
So this is from Dave to me. Redisguised at football matches. Ask Frank about Alta Manor.
Oh
What's
yes,
this?
Alta Manor. We went to. We were in Germany for the World Cup, David and I, and
Freebie?
well, he was working,
Okay. Oh, calm
Working.
down. Whoa, calm down.
and
So, yes.
we got obviously there were a lot of England fans at the England games, so we got a fair bit of stick. And Dave had this idea of getting a mask.
Oh, yeah.
So he bought, it's called Alta Manor, which means old man. So it was an old man mask. So I said, I'm not wearing a mask, I'm not having it. But anyway, we'd arrive and people would go, "Hey, Frankie! All right, Dave!"
Legend.
But no difference, nothing.
Oh, really? when you had it on.
Dave is a person.
They just thought you looked terrible.
Dave, I don't know what it is about Dave, but he once dressed as Casper the Friendly Ghost in the full outfit, and he still looked like Dave. There's something about his general presence
Dr.
in the
Evil.
world.
He came as one.
Dr. Evil, yeah, but there's more of him exposed then. But I mean, as Casper, still spot him. My partner always says to me, sometimes I'll wear dark glasses, because it's not for this, because it's sunny, and then I get recognised, and I think, I say to her, surprised people recognise me, and she say, no, it's your forehead. You have to cover that if you don't want to be recognised.
Beanie.
Very insensitive.
Well, maybe this is something to do with the celebrity. Your features are very distinguishing. They stand out. That's why.
Yeah.
No, but when I used to hang out with Dave a lot in our glory years, people would come up and go, all right, Dave, I love fantasy football. Where's Frank? And I'd be standing literally next to him.
Really?
So I'm sort of a bland facially.
Oh,
it's fine. It's fine. I went to Disneyland. I didn't need the wig hat, shade girlfriend combo.
The Ronaldo disguise.
Lovely to hear from Dave, though.
Well, he's got in touch again.
Oh.
There's no stopping the man.
He's calling me a damn liar, is it?
Altamana was confiscated by German police.
Oh, yes, it was. That's true.
They don't let you go into football grounds in disguise in Germany.
Do you think he's going to keep texting me at 2 a.m. about Altamana?
I have to say, it's not the first Altamana to be confiscated by German police.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us move on.
Wow. Let's get back to the safe zone of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes. No one's ever said that before.
So he did. We decided that the disguise didn't work because obviously the paparazzi recognised him.
Yeah. And fan followed him round for the day, it seemed. You'd think after they'd taken the first photo, he'd have heard the and thought, oh, I probably don't need this outfit on anymore. But he really stuck with it.
I suppose maybe he just didn't want to burn.
Didn't want
sunburn.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, you can go tan or you can go curly wig.
The celebrity these days tends to fall back on the baseball cap, which unfortunately
Donald
is now...
Trump, certainly.
Well, it's gone a bit Make America Great Again, the baseball cap.
I would love one of those.
Would you?
Yeah.
But for ironic
Make
reasons.
America Great Again.
Yeah, one of those. I mean, it's the wrong colour, isn't it? A white American.
Frank, I think you'll find we've got a Trump apologist in the house today again.
Let's hear him. Let's hear him then. It's some of the finest Trump apologism I've heard.
I haven't.
I mean, you secretly have been a fan for a long time, haven't you?
Not a fan, but I just think,
Have you got shares in the international gel industry?
The gold lift world.
I mean,
lift.
Golden lift. He loves the golden
he
lift.
loves
Is that what
golden
it's
lift.
called?
There was a picture of him and Nigel Farage. He's got gold lifts.
Yeah.
He likes a gold lift. I don't know whether they're gilt or
I thought it was a description of his hairstyle. Which fits, because it is golden and it does look like
got a bit of hairspray in
like
there.
a platform. It looks like an observation
I
platform.
think it's more burnt toffee apple.
Oh, that's
He's
good.
a man that comes with his own balcony.
Yeah.
It's like spun sugar.
I didn't tell you that was when me and Buzz ended up on the 5th of November. I couldn't get him any fireworks, so I took him out onto the balcony in our house and we just looked at the sky.
Oh, really?
It was like
fireworks
Bob Cratchit saying, I can't buy you now fireworks, Tiny Tim, but we could go out and look at them of the other people.
Yes, Bob Cratchit and his well-known balcony in Hampstead.
Yeah, well, look, if Scrooge had said, you'll get no money out of me, Bob Cratchit, but you can go on, you can use the balcony. Can I go sewer the balcon, Mr. Scrooge? Just do it, Bob. There you go. What the dickens?
Frank Skinner on the radio.
I met Rufus Wainwright, who I was a big fan of.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I said a couple of amusing things, and he went, meh.
No.
I haven't listened to a track since, not a single track.
Whilst we're talking of laughter...
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to be invited down to Elstree Studios this week to watch Room 101 being recorded with yourself and the Cockerel.
Indeed.
Spoiler alert.
And it was a marvellous evening, except for the bit, can I say, when they didn't know who I was. And I was forced into some terrible holding pen. And I was struggling to get out of it. But that's a whole other story.
I think that's my fault, because I put knowing who Emily is into Room 101, so from that moment on it was all over for
But
people knowing who you are.
I was sat there in the audience. Yes, I sat in the audience. The struggle is real. And behind me, Frank's Kath was there. And a lovely lady she works with, called Daisy, I believe.
Yes,
Frank.
that's right.
But what I didn't know about Daisy is her laugh is quite unbelievable. In fact, it was so loud, you actually referred to it and singled her out and said, I think we've got a seagull in.
Oh, okay.
And when you're with the person...
That was Daisy, was it?
Yes.
You went, there we go, that's what I was after.
But, you know, I like a laugher,
Yeah.
generally
Oh, she's a
speaking.
laugher, all
Yeah.
right.
I like it when
Kath is more, well, that's funny.
Right. I like it when somebody's got a big laugh and a comedian says, "Could you run about a bit?" I love that.
Oh,
sort of
I've
stuff.
done that. I've done that one
I
myself a
love
few
patter.
times. In case you don't understand, I'm the host of a panel show on BBC One called Room 101. It's part of my plan to get my ultimate hosting job, which is the pools panel.
Is it?
That's what I dream of hosting that.
Oh,
But
I see you
we'll
on
see.
there.
The winters are getting warmer. That's
Right.
limiting my chances. But no, we had a lovely night. Cockerel was very funny. We danced, we sang. There was soft cheese in the green room.
Speak for yourself. There was nothing in that green room. I went in there, I said, I'm desperate for food. There was a box of Quality Streets behind the bar.
Quality, quality, quality street. All the fun of the share.
I was so hungry by the end of it, I went up to your runner and I said, excuse me, I'm going now, but could I have a bit of your birthday cake to take in the car home?
Really?
She hadn't even cut it. She hadn't even blown out the candles.
Those lovely times when we used to go to a party and when you left, you'd be given a piece of the cake in tissue paper. Do you remember that?
Good times.
I ate it in the car, Cockerel, didn't I?
Great
Yes.
times when you could get fireworks at the bottom of the road. Yeah. Yeah. I just took a moment out there to just think that over.
You allowed that moment.
Is there enough of that on radio?
We can stop talking about Room 101 soon, because when I do a television programme, I don't even watch it when it goes
He says
on.
about to talk about
I like to do it and then forget that it's ever happened until years later when someone reminds me of it. I take a Boris Becker in the cleaning cupboard approach to television shows. That's what
I hope you won't be reminded by a complete facsimile of yourself in child form. That would be weird.
We shared one cab together.
You and Boris Becker?
No, me and Alan.
Oh, I thought you and Boris Becker. I wonder what was the next part of that story. Oh, good service? You always had a very good service.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I know what I wanted to ask you about, Frank. The Catholic Church has a new app for those with an urgent confession. I'm not suggesting that you've got an urgent confession to make.
I've always got one on the back burner.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Is that how it works?
Is it like snooker when you've got one rolled over the pocket? Is that what?
Yeah, you leave it there, and you think
Yeah.
when I get a chance, I just must remember. You need a little a sort of sin list.
Do you?
Otherwise, you
Do
might
you ever
forget
write them
some.
down, though? Or do you just keep them in your mental Rolodex?
Write them down. I've built a stand-up career on them.
Writes them down and retells them. Doesn't that slightly defeat the purpose, though, if you can be
Yes.
seen?
Yeah, but as long as it's out there,
Well, now it is
as long
out
as it's
there.
out there, you might as well get some laughs with it.
Yeah, true.
Because
enough.
they've got an app.
Yeah, they've invented an app, and it uses similar technology to the dating hookup app Tinder, which I've heard of.
Yeah.
And they're calling it. It's nicknamed Sindr.
Sindr, yeah.
The real name is the Catholic app.
But it's going to be called Sindr, isn't
It is.
Yeah,
I'm
it will
afraid
be.
It is going to be called Sindr.
So you can find the nearest confession to you at that
Yeah.
time, and the nearest mass, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
They launched it in Rome, Frank, in St. Peter's Basilica. But
Yeah,
it's
that
in-
seems like a good place to launch
It's the best
many,
place.
can't be many apps
for the Catholics.
launched there.
No.
It's a great app launch venue.
Well, I liked that
Yeah.
they were talking about it on the Vatican radio. I didn't know there was Vatican radio.
Oh yes.
Oh, I'm
Long
obsessed by
running.
that.
Is it?
I've got 3 Roman Catholic apps. on
Have
my
you actually?
phone.
What are they? Tell us what
I've
they
got
are.
I've got the daily readings, the Pope's app, his own app, and the Catholic calendar.
Lovely.
Right.
Very good.
And now you've got... Will you be downloading Sindr?
I've also got the complete Shakespeare Tree ID, which you can use to identify any tree in Britain, and Gunsmoke, which is the full list of and all the audio episodes from the radio series of Gunsmoke. That's the kind of apps, kind of variety I've got kicking around.
A lot of room on his phone, isn't there? A lot of room.
Oh yeah.
If I put apps on my phone, I have to start deleting family photographs, and I'm not.
You need bigger, more bytes.
I think you're right. I do need more bytes. I've always said that.
What do you think of this Sindr, Frank?
I think it's a brilliant idea. For me, it's profoundly practical.
Is it?
Yeah, totally. I'm seeing it right up there with Toilet Finder. You ever seen that one?
No.
There's several versions of it. So you can it's public toilets, places you can go to the toilet. There's even one called Pet Loo.
Grinder.
Where you can find the nearest pet toilet. Sorry.
I said, isn't that Grinder?
What's the
Public toilet finder.
Yeah, it's only a small app. It's a cottage industry.
Very good.
But there's one of a Pet Loo where you can find the nearest pet toilet.
Now that I love.
You just look down, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. It's called The Floor.
Yeah.
Well, I've just got Borrow My Doggy.
Have you?
You've done what?
Borrow My Doggy. That's a new one.
You can
borrow a dog, loan a dog.
Have you borrowed one yet?
I'm about to.
You just take a dog
You'll find
for
out
a
more
walk.
shortly.
Oh, that sounds good. I've got a dog that I don't walk. Maybe I should be going
It's a
at
whippet,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not going all the way to Manchester for a whippet.
No.
But if I had the confession and the mass, I would use it quite a lot.
Would you?
What, Sindr?
Yes, I'd use Sindr. Well, I've got ones I hardly ever use either bald booth or fat booth, and I've got them.
Those have gone.
Yeah.
I just think that people know now.
Yeah, you did mean
most
those
people in
very
Britain
early
know what
on.
they look like fat. What they want to do is get one that reverses the process to give them some sort of incentive.
You need Thinder for that.
Yeah.
Finder.
Yeah.
Finder.
Thinder.
Is that an actual
Oh,
one?
Finder.
Thinder.
That's
See
big.
what you look like slim if you lost the weight.
Hey, you
right?
need to
I
write
made
that.
it up, but
You
I'm
need to
not
write
doing
that down
Do
and
it,
post it
do
to
it.
yourself. That
I
is
was
good.
thinking of one if you're a bit down, you need to find out the nearest comedian to tell you a funny joke.
And
What's
cold.
that?
Called Grinder. That wouldn't be confusing, would it?
No, I can't imagine any problems with
I
that.
think that'd be fine.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So,
We were talking about Sindr.
yes.
I
yeah.
worry that this is the beginning of all the alphabet being used in Inders.
Do you think
we've,
so?
Yeah, we've got SIN Sindr now for people that need a nearby confession. What if we go to Binder for people that have got litter?
oh yeah.
Oh, I thought that was if you got rid of an ex.
Yes.
Very good.
Very good.
Of course, if Bill Gates had come from West Bromwich, he would have had Winders instead of windows.
Oh, yeah?
So you could be a glazier in the West Midlands, and your app could be called Winder.
Yeah.
You can get
That'd work.
Rinder, which tells you where Judge Rinder is any point in time.
I think there's already an app that does that.
Yeah, begin with G. Vinder, Frank.
Vinder.
A
For
curry
a nearby
app?
curry. Yeah. Excellent.
Oh,
We're
you're
working right
playing an
through these.
absolute blinder.
Yeah.
I know you've been to South Africa recently.
You should try Sindr. I think you'd like confession.
Oh, do I think I would.
You talk about
well,
yourself.
I have therapy.
Yeah, it's a
And
similar
I do
thing.
like
Same
to talk
difference.
about myself.
Yeah, but when you have therapy, do you get a private box?
Oh.
No.
Can I ask you a question about confession,
You
Frank?
can.
Is it free?
It is free.
Cheaper than
Is
therapy?
anything free?
Can you
No,
sort
good
of
point.
save them up? Like the credit card thing. Do you pay as you go? I mean, if you said, I haven't... Because it's the idea that, let's say there was something that had happened 4 years ago, I'd forgotten about it. Do they say, well, that's too old now?
No, it's like when, if you're self-employed, if you find some receipts from the, 2005, you can still cash them in.
Can you?
Yeah.
And do they ever say
Really?
how long if you haven't been there for a long time?
Didn't know that.
Yes.
Do they?
They will, yeah. They will sometimes say,
Okay.
I haven't been for 2 years. I say, what? Again, we're back to the West Midlands.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
It's good. It's like having a lovely hot shower, but on the inside.
And is it necessary to actually go? Because surely if they're going for an app, surely they could go for like a kind of like a FaceTime version, but just not have the face, like a curtain, like
a FaceTime. But
couldn't you
really,
Skype?
What you're talking about is a standard phone call, aren't you?
Yeah.
Face message where you can't FaceTime where you can't see their face. I think that's already been done.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, I'll tell you what I'm envisioning.
You envisaging again? I've told you.
Like lots of people.
I'll stop you going to them youth clubs.
You know. Lots of
Pinder,
what are they called? The Catholic priests. They're there with headsets on in what looks like a call centre, just taking confessions. People doing it on their hands-free kit whilst they're in town.
I think there have been phone confessions in the past, but they're not official. I don't think you can get over the phone absolution.
Really?
Come on, don't be ridiculous.
I'm not sure I see the ridiculousness here. But
no, well, I know that.
We'll discuss it off air.
I'm at the age now, I really want an app called Bench Finder. It just leads me to actually, stumbling across is a concept that's going to not exist in 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you want, you just look on.
Before we go, Mark McDonough on the Twitter has suggested Kinder, an app that gives you surprise ideas.
That's very good. I did like your Pinder, by the way. I did hear that.
Thank you.
You know where Lucy Pinder is? Lucy Pinder.
I believe she's in Los Angeles at the moment.
Yeah, dating Captain America.
Is that right?
Still?
I think so,
okay.
yeah. Well, that was a bit of a tense moment. About whether he dumped her or not. It was one of those moments.
Binder.
One of those moments.
A bit Binder.
You could hear a Pinder drop. Anyway, thanks so much for listening this morning. And if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Now get out!
Hear the Frank Skinner Show as it happens. Saturday morning from 8 until 11 on 105.8 FM in London and the South East.